on the flip side of things, Chicago is now in need of a quarterback. And they have the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft. So with that being said, people have their Avi choice, but I'm going to ask y'all, is Caleb Williams to the Bears a lock at this point? I think we all kind of knew, boom, they definitely going, quarterback once they traded Justin Fields. But is Caleb a lock? Now, I do want to ask, months ago, even on this show, we talked about how Caleb said, I don't think it was this year, but last year's college year, he was talking about how he won't go to the Bears. You know what I'm saying? He's not feeling Chicago. Was it the Bears? I think it was the Bears. He wasn't.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Or
I don't
Arizona.
know how real that is. I don't know how real that is.
Oh, with Arizona.
It was that's right. The Cardinals, not the Bears. It was Cardinals.
Because he's actually came out and said he wouldn't mind playing for the Bears.
For the Bears.
He actually said that. Yeah.
Okay. So is he a lock? Is there a possibility that the Bears are eyeing? Are they eyeing anybody else?
I'm gonna say this.
Oh, brother.
Don't be surprised if the Bears take Drake May.
Why? Why Drake May?
Because him and Caleb. Oh,
I ain't want to go there.
What you say? What'd you say?
I was saying him and Caleb are 1A and 1B. I've been saying that since last year. I don't necessarily like Drake May.
I don't either.
But I'm not gonna lie and say he's just some terrible quarterback. He's 1A, 1B with Caleb.
I just think Drake, he just give off Chicago. He just give off like he'll end up being their quarterback. Like, I mean, of course, everybody feel like it's Caleb. And don't get me wrong, I think Caleb would be going into a great situation. Chicago has made some moves offensively where Caleb will have some weapons around him. He can do something. He can make something shake with what he got around him. It just gives off, like, as this time goes on, I think Caleb going to end up going home, coming back to DC. I think he's going to end up falling to the Commanders. And I think Chicago is going to end up taking Drake May. Shout out to my boy Shaggy. I seen Shaggy say it on Twitter. I think it was yesterday or might have been today. He was like, don't be surprised if Chicago take Drake May. And I'm like, you could be on to something, brother. Like, Drake May is not being talked about as much as Caleb Williams. And a lot of organizations like Drake May. So
I wouldn't be surprised if they took him. I don't think they take him. I think Caleb is going number 1. I think Jaden Daniels is going number 2. And then Drake May will go to either the Patriots or whoever trades up with the Patriots to take him. But I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Drake May went to Chicago. I would laugh. I mean,
I would too.
Because that'd be hilarious. But to be honest, the reason I really wouldn't be surprised is because they just had a quarterback that did a lot of, extending plays and kind of dialing up his own thing, not really being on schedule on time. They may go with a quarterback that has been known or has been said to be more on time and more on schedule with passing the ball and Drake May. So you never know.
Y'all ain't hear that big boom in my background?
Yeah, I heard it. I just thought you would drop something.
I know. I didn't do nothing. My concern is this, and I think that I've brought this concern before, probably in one of the spaces as of recent spaces. Caleb going to Chicago. What has changed management wise, coaching wise, where I feel like that they would develop him better than they developed Caleb Williams? Justin Fields.
They got a new offensive coordinator.
And who's that again?
Shane Waldron from Seattle.
Waldron.
From the Seahawks.
Okay.
Waldron's not.
And he has a background in developing quarterbacks.
I mean, not necessarily, but he was the running game coordinator with the Rams. Then he went up to Seattle to be their offensive coordinator. I don't know. I don't remember who all he brought on his offensive staff. I want to say they actually got a quarterback coach from the Rams or something like that. I don't remember correctly though. I don't remember exactly though. But not necessarily that he has, he can develop a quarterback, but he does help put his quarterbacks in good situations. We've seen what happened.
You see Shark, Shark is Seahawks fan, so you know. Shark said he trash.
Yeah, I was about to say some good things about him,
Yeah.
but not. Listen, man, you seen how their offenses look, and everybody's not going to be happy with their offense coordinators 100% of the time, but you've seen what their offenses look like with Geno there and everything, and how they've been able to do things. Even when Drew Lock came in last year, and how he played in that game that he came in and balled out. So I don't know. Maybe he does something different with Caleb. I don't know, but my thing is they've gotten more weapons since they did for whoever the next quarterback is what they didn't do for Justin Fields.
And that's the corny part, Lou.
Yeah,
that's the trash.
You went and got who was the running back now? DeAndre Swift. You go get DeAndre Swift. You go trade for Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen. Yep.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna take. I wouldn't be surprised if they took a receiver or a tight end at number 9 or traded back a little bit and took an offensive tackle. I don't know, but I'm just saying they've done a lot more for their next quarterback than they ever did for Fields.
And that's corny. It
do we know why that's long. The case though? Was it a issue with Justin Fields personality wise? Did he just not the front office and coaching just didn't rock? Why is that? And how do I know y'all are talking about just an offensive coordinator, but that's only one change that you're telling me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody that can call plays better. Okay, I'm talking about everything that comes with developing a quarterback, not just the play calling. And you know what I'm saying? Is it a proper quarterbacks coach? It is a proper person to show him mechanics. Is it somebody there that's going to hold him accountable? Something that you complained about Lincoln Riley not doing at USC. All of this stuff is, you know what I'm saying? I know because my quarterback has not received this stuff that I'm talking about in Dallas. Is, all of that stuff makes for a good quarterback if you're not
I agree.
This Mahomes or this, you know what I'm saying, this generational kind of guy. All of that stuff, you have to have a mixture of all that stuff. And I'm just trying to figure out, I want somebody to convince me where outside of the offensive coordinator, he's going to get that necessary treatment in Chicago. I don't want 3 years down the line, we're looking at Justin Fields 2.0 because of the mishandling from the Bears.
So I'm going to be honest with you. If we're gonna keep it real, I don't know if Caleb going there. I don't know if he'll get that accountability there. I don't know if he'll get that. So that's a great point you brought up. You know what I mean? I don't know if they'll be able to develop Caleb in areas that they need to. Caleb, the talent is there with Caleb. That's not even close. But there's more aspects of the game mentally that Caleb has to grow in if he wants to succeed in the NFL. You can't just play off talent in the NFL.
I
got to have it up here too.
The days where quarterbacks sat behind good quarterbacks for at least a year or two, man.
That ain't gonna happen for number.
That ain't gonna happen.
I know. I would just.
I don't think it even happened back then.
It kind of did.
It happened a little bit. Where decent, where they were able to sit behind quarterbacks with some type of fundamentals. Maybe they weren't top-notch quarterbacks, but some type of fundamentals. Tom Brady will tell you that Drew Bledsoe helped him develop in a certain way.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Sat behind Joe Montana.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When you looking at those number 1 pick quarterbacks, you ain't coming in to sit behind nobody. You a number 1
true
pick.
Too, Lou.
You coming in to play
expecting you to play.
Well, outside of that, we have seen quarterbacks that have been good and not been number 1 picks that I still wish had the opportunity to sit behind other really good quarterbacks just to enhance their skill a bit.
No.
So that's kind of what I mean. I understand what for number 1 pick, you supposed to be NFL ranked.
You supposed to be, you that guy.
Sure.
You next up.
Can
you bring up what Clement said? He was just asking me a question about the Colts in 15.
Oh, I'm sorry, Clement. What? Where you at? Oh God,
right there,
right above.
Oh, there it is. All right, yeah. So he says, "See, Lou, who do you think, in your opinion, based on the film you watch of certain players, do the Colts take at pick 16? Ooh, a draft 15. Ooh, a draft question.
Yeah. So for us, if really, it depends on how we finish our free agency. If we don't go get a vet corner, I could see us taking a corner at 15, whether that be Terrion Arnold if he falls down there, or Quinion Mitchell, which I don't think much Colts people were there at his pro day today, but Either Terrion Arnold, Quinyon Mitchell. I don't want him, but Cooper DeJean, he could come to Indy, but I think we trade back for that. Or Brian Thomas Jr. or Brock Bowers if he falls. But those, I mean, unless there's an edge there that they really like at 15, those really the only players I see them taking. Either you get your young quarterback another weapon, or you go get another cornerback to help out our DB room.
Appreciate the question, Clement. Y'all can keep the questions coming. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely a good question.
We love answering questions on Sports After Dark. Shark, we appreciate you too for jumping in. You know what I'm saying?
Shark,
always make sure you
appreciate you, Shark.
Make sure you go and fill out the bracket again. We love, y'all
fill out these brackets, man.
What's up, Darius? Appreciate you for jumping in, brother. Yeah, I y'all made great points about the Chicago and Caleb thing.
That was a great point you brought up too about, you know what I mean, them developing him. That was because they didn't develop Fields, so that was a great point.
They didn't help him.
And I don't know the Washington staff enough to know if he'd be developed here. I just look at the history of certain franchises, and again, they are in completely new management here in Washington. You know what I'm saying? But I'd be real nervous just about the history of the franchise. Like, obviously, we know they completely mismanaged RG3 here. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, and obviously, those same people aren't even anywhere to be found, right? But but still.
But I got a question for you, Fiambe, because you're well known about this coach Dan Quinn. Accountability, was he holding like the Cowboys defense accountable? Like, was there accountability between like him and the players? Because if he then I could see Caleb going there. Like, was Dan Quinn holding them accountable?
I don't know. I feel like that they were definitely buying into what he was selling. Okay, so maybe not Dane. They wasn't on no Dan Campbell type album. They gonna run through walls for him. I don't think. But I think maybe a little bit, probably not enough, because I think we would have just seen that play out a bit more in the season. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we talked about a couple shows back how reflective Micah was, and Lou said that we needed to see that stuff in season. And you're around somebody 5 to 6 days a week that's supposed to be holding you accountable in the moment. So I don't know. That could be a question for Bray as well. How accountable did he hold his team in Atlanta when he was the actual head coach? You know what I'm saying? How much of those guys, was it more so of him? Was it Matt Ryan because he was such a vet? And you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just think that if he was doing it, it could have been done a bit more, and maybe he's learned, and maybe we'll see it a bit more if Caleb ends up in Washington. But I don't know the staff enough. Yeah.
No, that's what I was going to say. I was just looking at the offensive staff. The quarterback coach is Tavita Pritchard. This is his first.
Where is this?
The Commanders.
This is in Washington. Okay.
Yeah. So this is his first season in the NFL. He played quarterback at Stanford. The name sounds familiar. But he was their offensive coordinator at Stanford. He was the quarterback coach for Davis Mills at Stanford. Or not the quarterback coach, but he was the offensive coordinator there when I think Davis Mills was there. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Hell no.
And then Cliff is the offensive coordinator, which Cliff can dial up some plays. That's one thing he can do. He can dial up some plays. He may not be able to head coach, but he can dial up some. He
definitely can make their offense look good, but he damn sure can't be a head coach.
So I don't know, man. I don't know, and that's what I say, bro. Yeah, that's what I say. Like, situation matters for these young quarterbacks because you're banking on you're not banking on what they did in college. You're banking on that. You're banking on that talent and the projection of what you see them as.
That's a fact.
But it takes the right coach for them to get that talent out of them. You go and I'm gonna toot the Colts horn a little bit.
But
you go Shane Steichen with Jalen Hurts. You go Shane Steichen his first year with Herbert. You go Shane Steichen with Anthony Richardson. Like, it's situation and your offensive coordinator. It matters. It matters, man.
That's why Anthony Richardson going to the Colts was a perfect situation for him.
Yeah, because we saw what he did with Jalen. We saw what he did with Jalen. You saw what Jalen looked like after that.
That's a fact. You see the complete difference. That is a fact.